In this pristine and remote corner of northern Kenya, where the Samburu people live peacefully alongside their wildlife, all hell is about to break loose. For the next 3 days, 60 four-wheel drive machines and their teams will convene to compete in the Rhino Charge event, Kenya's homegrown answer to fundraising for conservation. This year is the 20th anniversary of the Rhino Charge, and the event is more popular than ever. Leave it to the Kenyans. If they're going to raise money for conservation, they're going to have a blast doing it. To date, over $8 million has been raised by the Rhino Charge to build the world's longest conservation fence. The electric fence surrounds one of Kenya's most important environments, the Aberdare Mountain ecosystem, home to some of Africa's most endangered wildlife and the main water catchment for millions of Kenyans. This year's charge is being held at Namunyak Group Ranch in Samburu district, an 8-hour drive north of Nairobi. The venue, as always, has been kept secret until a few weeks ago. The Rhino Charge takes place over a long weekend at the end of each May. Contestants arrive from everywhere, in time to set up camp, check in and attend scrutineering. At scrutineering, all vehicles are officially checked out and fitted with GPS tracking devices.
We now have live tracking, which means at any time during the event we can, apparently the technical term is to ping the car, find out where it is. So every 15 minutes we'll send a message to the car, it will then tell us where that car is.
Scrutineering, as always, is the place to be seen and heard. It's the day before the charge, and emotions range between anticipation and dread.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. Quite nervous though.
It's always exciting. It's the best weekend of the year, this thing. It really is.
Actually terrified.
No.
No. You're not?
Not a bit.
Really?
I can't wait for it to start.
I don't believe why they can pass through a place where people are suggesting they can pass. Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think if in case they're going to pass through those high places or steep places, I'm seeing almost everyone losing his life.
Namunyak's landscape does appear intimidating, but as charge veterans know, the course terrain always looks intimidating, even from the very first charge.
Oh yes. When we laid the course out, we had 2 or 3 sections there where we just said that's absolutely impossible, nobody will do it. We fixed them. And from that day on, we've always had to eat our words because they just romped home with it. And we learnt from then on and on and on and on. And even today, we still say, oh, they'll never do that. And somebody is crazy enough to do it.
Scrutineering is almost over, and Lakandi, the Samburu warrior, is becoming more amazed by the minute.
You see tomorrow, you see how they go.
And we're all girls.
This is all girls
All
team.
girls.
Yeah, all there. All there.
Actually, maybe I can believe for men, but I don't believe for
You don't believe for women?
Yeah.
And the senior
You'll
men.
see it all tomorrow.
Okay.
All that's left now is for the chargers to convene at the headquarters tent for the driver's briefing and map giving.
If you have an accident and you fall in one of these 2 or 3 karongas that are around here, and you do have a medical problem, please make sure that your satellite tracker is still connected.
Once maps are distributed, it's up to the teams to hunker down at their individual camps and plan their strategy. The Rhino Charge is won by covering the shortest distance in 10 hours between 13 bush checkpoints. Coordinates are given to help teams devise their own plan of attack, an exercise that will last well into the night. At dawn the next day, the chargers meet in the dark and draw lots for their starting positions. All vehicles are then led in convoy to wait for the shotgun start. Once in place, everyone readies themselves in different ways. Some warm up their muscles, while others, like Team 13, go through mental checklists.
Yeah, I'm always concerned about fuel because we have a leaking fuel tank, but I'm more concerned about the fact that we normally break our clutch, the coil, the distributor, the half shafts. So this year we're not going to break anything.
7:30 exact, and the event begins. It's a mad dash in different directions as everyone follows their ideal path. Team 13 knows exactly where they're going. Like everyone else, they have 10 hours to make it around the course and back to where they began. Their first obstacle is getting through a moderately sized karanga, or gully. So much for not breaking anything. This broken half shaft may just put them out of the race.
The worst year was we didn't even get to the start point. So we've actually achieved, what, close to 100 meters. So it's not a bad result.
Over at the Vineyard Church checkpoint, Team 61 also find themselves stuck at the start in a karanga. Out of the 55 competing cars in this year's event, many will drop out early on. So far, so good for Team 61. But they still have a long day ahead of them. Every team has their own style and approach to competing in the Rhino Charge. Some pace themselves early on, making sure their car is protected, while others, like Team 48, attack with speed and vengeance. The Rhino Charge is won by managing time while following the most direct line between checkpoints.
You know, because not every time are we going to have a track that's going to help us like this, whereas this track's pretty much going where we want.
No, it's going all the way around. That's 1.5 kilometers around.
It's not, it's about an extra couple of 100 meters sour. Yeah, we were running about 12 minutes late. Yeah.
If you ever wondered what it's like to be in the charge, comfort is definitely not part of the experience. As Team 48 carries on towards the St Andrews checkpoint, Samburu warriors are enjoying the show. Over the last 20 years, the charge has taken place at remote locations all over Kenya. The Kenyan bush hasn't changed much, but the event sure has.
The first year we did it, we pitched up in a pretty standard motor car. We all lined up and they said go, so we all went. But now it's got computers and helicopters and everything else that you can imagine. Money is no object.
Over at the Gauntlet, the crowds are gathering to watch the first attempt down the most difficult part of the charge. The Rhino Charge may have evolved over the years, but the bushcraft skills of the veteran teams have also evolved into a fine art. Team 5 is the perfect example. They've been in every charge since the beginning. They're always breaking new ground, and at the moment they're the first to attempt the Gauntlet in almost a straight line. The Gauntlet is designed to put cars, drivers and teams to the ultimate test. Car 5 has nailed it. Now everyone else can follow. This year's shortest possible route is 42.5 kilometres through extra thorny bush and jagged rocks. The heat of the day has now begun, and cars and drivers are starting to feel the punishment.
We've crashed through the bush, we bounced through Makuris, we got wedged in one. The smallest Makuri you could believe, and we got two wheels in the air spinning. Took us hours to get out.
Ice cream is not the only cool treat awaiting teams at the Hardy checkpoint.
You need windscreen wipers.
Check that one out.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
People may need cooling off, but so do the cars. Team 48, in their usual hurry, make good use of the Hardy checkpoint for a tyre change and to put out a fire under their car.
Unbelievable, the thickest I think I've ever done. We've had to cut it around the last two.
Let's go.
Right, Zach.
We haven't had anybody come up that hill quite so far.
Over at the Land Rover checkpoint, officials have a moment to reflect on the charge's 20th anniversary.
I think it's pointing at you.
Hey, that's marvellous that we can still draw the crowds that we're drawing after 20 years of doing the same thing. It's good.
It's become a bit of an institution, I think. I think it could be emulated in other places. I was in India in the summer and we spoke to some wildlife conservation people and they're quite interested in doing something similar, which they don't do over there.
It's been quiet at this checkpoint until Team 64 shows up and decides to refuel their vehicle.
There we go, come on. Here, someone help me. Water!
Wait, water.
Water!
Here. Water, that's it. Open.
Both of them.
Lots of water, lots
Did
of
you
water.
see the tank explode? They opened the thing and it just exploded.
That's affirmative, Doc. Two of them got petrol in their eyes quite badly. They will probably need some cream or something. We flooded it with water, but
They're
nothing else.
blinking now, they're blinking.
It stings like hell. But at least you're opening your eyes.
Open your eyes and let the water in.
Take on the wrap it down, that's it. Good. All right. You okay?
You okay?
Yep. We unfortunately had a very lively tank of fuel, so as we were trying to get it off to refuel, it sort of burst open and we got petrol in our eyes, which I can tell you is not very pleasant.
Are you all right now?
I'm all right now, yeah.
Rhino chargers are tough, and almost nothing will stop them from competing. Team 64 is off and running again.
Okay, so how are we doing time-wise?
There are always surprises in the Rhino charge. Some terrain like this lugger looks difficult, but proves easy for car 38. Yet the soft ground here is misleading. It's almost enough to turn them over. You never know what you're going to get in the Rhino charge, but a good spank on the butt is usually guaranteed.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Strong, man, strong. Getting a little bit of a tickle.
Rocks are in no short supply this year. Car 46 does its best to negotiate a tough riverbank.
How was that?
Piece of cake, really. It's a highway. This year.
The adrenaline buzz is making Team 46 a bit slap happy. It's everything their runners can do just to hold on.
What's the best technique for holding on?
Strong hands and a will never to give up. And your friends behind you when you lose grip.
By now, the gauntlet is also buzzing with adrenaline, as spectators, who've come all the way from Nairobi, eagerly support each team. This event may seem like a giant, testosterone-pumped excuse to drive cars through the bush, but it's actually much more than that. The Rhino Charge is Kenya's largest, best organised and most successful conservation fundraiser. Every single team has to raise a large sum of money each year just to be allowed to participate. And it doesn't stop there. They must also sponsor their own cars, camping and crews. There's no financial reward for the winners, just the satisfaction of raising the most money for conservation and knowing that they have a competitive edge in the bush. The Aberdare mountain ecosystem is what this event has been fighting for the last 20 years.
Well, it's a worldwide success story, the building of this fence to protect vital water catchment and indigenous forests. And it's really a tribute to Kenyans over nearly a whole generation who have put their hands in their pockets. They've wanted to conserve the pristine areas of this country which are so vital to its existence. And I think really we are all celebrating. We are celebrating the fact that we have nearly done it. It would have been finished this year, but we took on an extra section of vital Mount Kipipiri, which is the water source of many lakes going into the Rift Valley and Lake Naivasha. So that will take us another 12 months and another 55 kilometers. That's one big challenge for our fence construction team, but we're committed to complete it by October 2009. The distance will finally be 400 kilometers, encircling over 2,000 square kilometers of wild forest. Basically, we have moved from all our money going into fence construction. Now that government have come on board and they've given us $1.5 million so far in various tranches, we have switched our emphasis. 75% of our funds goes into maintaining the fence, and 25% is set aside for this last year of construction. In a year's time, 100% will go into maintaining the fence. Well, you know, many people ask this question after the Aberdares, and I always say we mustn't desert the Aberdares. We don't want a potholed road in the Aberdares. We want to maintain this fence, but I don't think necessarily that we will have to be the only supplier of funds, because we have begun to get international acceptance, government acceptance here, and we will look ahead. And this project is a blueprint for other ecosystems, be they forest or conservation areas that are vital to the economy of Kenya. And we've got our eyes open.
There's only a couple of hours left before the charge is over, and car 23 has to stop to fix something.
Stopping for air. The filter's blocked, so we're going to use a shirt because we're just running to the end now. We have 2 more checkpoints and we're done. It's been difficult, but we decided
now, watch this. Again, in slow motion.
What's the cloth then?
The bloody cloth, you went to pizza. I don't know what. So
where is that?
And
Our improvised air filter just got sucked into the engine. But we'll fix it.
If it was in one of these, you'd hear it.
There it is. Yeah. Oh, the mystery of the
Look,
t-shirt.
right out of there. And look at it. So, next time I know I'll give you stuff.
Is it going to be easier to fit this thing together with the sleeves?
Come on!
The Rhino charge is almost over, and everyone is trying to get to as many checkpoints as they can. Car 13, the first to break down this morning, has made an amazing comeback. They have a minute left to get to their last checkpoint. This near head-on collision has stopped any chance of making it on time. Just like many others today, Car 13 has only managed a few checkpoints, but that's all part of charging for charity. In the end, the real winner is the Aberdare mountain ecosystem. While Team 13 celebrates, everyone else gets back to headquarters in any way they can. The 20th Rhino charge is officially over, and tomorrow morning the results will be in. In the morning, the Samburu serenade as everyone awaits the award ceremony. Time to find out who the winners are. Third place goes to...
Car number 38, Sean Avery. Well done guys.
Second place goes to...
Car number 48, Mark
And the first place winner is...
Car number 5.
They not only won the charge, but raised the most amount of money this year. They have broken yet another record and have cleaned up on all the top prizes.
$9.4 million shillings. Well done, thank you very much.
The local Samburu community also wins big in camping fees.
A check for 2 million shillings.
And finally, the number everyone has been waiting for. The amount raised for the fence this year, over 63 million shillings.
With a stronger shilling, it's still $1 million charge.
For the second time in a row, the Rhino charge has raised the equivalent of $1 million US. It's been 20 years of charging, and the Aberdare fence, all 400 kilometers of it, is almost in place. But there's still more money to be raised to maintain it for posterity. But don't worry, the Rhino chargers and their fans will make sure that it happens.
It only becomes more and more popular year after year. So, so long as, we've got a good cause at the end of it, then we'll keep doing it.
The conservation effort that we've put in all these years has proved that the political situation is not going to affect Conservancy.
Amazing what a monster it's become in the 20 years.
I actually think that these cars are so much powerful, and they're actually funny because I've never experienced something like this. I've never seen cars passing over these rugged landforms as such. And I really thank the competitors for what they have done, for their efforts that actually they have tried, and the way they came to make us know that also these things are existing, and this Rhino charge exists, which we never knew before.
The Rhino charge exists, and it will for many years to come.